Maine Knows How. Brought to you by A&G Shooting, Modern Woodmen of America, Mainly Handrails, Pine Grove Programs, Digital Spirit Media, and J.W. Parks Golf Course. Maine Knows How.
Thank you very much, Ed, for coming to this event. We greatly appreciate your time and all the stuff you brought to teach kids and people how to tie flies and know the world of fly fishing.
Yeah, well, it is a world. It's my world.
Yeah.
That's all I do. You know, I tie flies, I fly fish here and in Florida. And yeah, this is anything that Bob Howe and his project, Pine Grove Programs, does is perfect.
Thank you.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, we've fished in Florida, we've fished in Canada, and we've fished in Maine.
There you go.
And
it's always fun.
Always fun. We always have a great time.
Well, if you don't, why are you doing it?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, we're out in God's world, and we're just exercising His fish.
Exercising the demons.
Yeah, we let them go, and
yeah,
everything is always good.
let them get bigger.
Yeah.
And it's funny, people start off fly fishing and they want to catch every fish. As you get older, you just want to catch the big ones, and you get to a point where the day's made when you get up and you know you're going fishing. That's what it's, and it's fishing, not catching.
Right.
So you got to realize that.
I get a rise out of hooking a bluegill off a dock.
There
You
go.
walk out on a dock, you fly cast. Oh, geez. I mean, you still get, no matter what it is.
The tug is a drug, they say.
Right, the tug is a drug. Yeah. So
Good stuff.
thank you for teaching these kids.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I didn't bring, I have another vise, but I didn't have a C-clamp nor a pedestal. But my good buddy Kenny Clark is on his way with a pedestal vise, so I can take these kids one at a time and give them a lesson on tying a simple woolly bugger.
Nice. Tell me how you got involved in tying flies.
Well, I have to say it was probably driven by a couple of things. Atlantic Salmon magazine and my late father-in-law.
Yeah.
Charlie Barnes. He got me fly fishing, and then I figured out, you can tie your own flies. That was, it's a struggle. I invented new words, cussing words.
Oh, yeah.
And then I got into Atlantic salmon fishing, and Atlantic salmon hair wings are jewels in themselves. They're just pretty little flies. And then I saw a fly from a friend of mine, an old Irishman from Massachusetts, Charlie Shute. One of his is called the Killarney Gem. I saw it in Atlantic Salmon magazine, and I was stunned.
Yeah.
And I'm talking a big 8/0 hook with a gut eye, and I was just taken by it. And that was that. I was hooked, so to speak. And been doing it for 35, 40 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of flies.
A lot of flies. It's just fun. It's fun to catch them on your own flies. It's fun to give friends flies and watch them catch fish on them.
Right.
It's a good time.
I have a few of them in my den. You tied one for Tucker Carlson.
I did.
Yeah, and
I
it's
did.
In his studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The TC special.
Yeah,
And,
TC special.
yeah, come out pretty good. I was liking it.
Wow. Isn't that something, huh? Boy,
It
there's
is.
lots of feathers now, isn't there, huh?
Lots
the
of
stuff
feathers.
You can get.
Lots of expensive feathers.
Yeah, there is. There's no shortage
Crazy.
of offensive feathers.
I have so much material, but I use it all at different times. I may go into a mode of tying classics. I may tie salmon flies to go up to Marguerite or the Gaspé or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it goes to saltwater for tarpon and whatnot.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. We fished for some down in Florida in a ditch.
Ditch fishing.
Ditch fishing.
Yeah.
That was something, huh?
For juvenile tarpon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a couple alligators here and there.
Yeah, there was.
One big one. Bob was concerned he was going to come across and get me, but he
Yeah.
didn't.
I don't want to see that.
Oh, he's a big fella.
That was a big boy.
Was.
He didn't move a muscle.
No, and he had a lot of them.
Yeah.
I think he was just flexing to show us. But yeah, it's fun. It's all encompassing for me. Like I say, that's all I do. I used to golf. I used to hunt, but I did shows along the East Coast for 25 years or so.
Yeah.
And that was a learning curve, so to speak. And so I met a lot of great people, a lot of good connections, and that's what it's all about for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything has its good and bad. Facebook, YouTube, all that. You take it for what it is, but it keeps me in contact with my hook makers in Japan and my feather merchants all over the world.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm friends with a Russian fighter pilot.
Yeah.
He's a great fly tyer. So
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
Isn't that something,
Yeah,
huh?
small world.
Yeah, yeah, all connected.
All connected.
On a bunch of feathers.
That's right.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, and through that, I made it into a book called The Feather Thief.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
quite interesting. A young couple kids, boys I met at a show in Wilmington. They came to my desk and they were just blown away by and they knew all the materials, and I was really impressed with that.
Yeah.
And I gave them lessons, and they went on their own after that. And Edwin ended up breaking into a museum and stealing 300 rare bird skins that tyers want.
Really?
Yeah, so it became a book, The Feather Thief.
How we done?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that here in central Maine, how the Kennebec River, the Dead River, and all the fly fishermen in the area,
Yeah.
had created a culture, from
It
Mike
has.
Holt and Kenny Clark, and there's a variety of all different
yeah.
kinds of guys that
Yeah.
made this a world-class fishery. It's one of the best world-class fisheries in the United States.
And it could be better.
It could be better.
Could be better.
Yep.
The section from Wyman Dam down through to Solon, if they could just leave it alone,
Yep.
catch and release, fly fishing only.
Yep.
In 4 or 5 years at the utmost, I believe you'd have people from all over the world coming to fish there.
The town of Bingham wouldn't struggle anymore
That's true.
because it's be a
It's true.
year-round fishery.
Yeah.
And if they're turning them back, it's all the time getting better and better.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's in microcosm. It's like nothing against locals, because I'm a local. I'm a Mainer. Blah blah blah. But nothing against people fishing with worms and lures. That's
Nope,
how
neither.
I started, right? But when you have a world class, or could be super world class fishery like that with big rainbow. My biggest is 29 inches. It's a big. That's almost a steelhead.
Right.
And well, anyway, what they need to do
Yep.
is they need to make it no-kill fly fishing only.
Yep.
And instead of having a local guy with a six-pack and a bunch of worms and leave his garbage and take 3 big rainbow,
Yep.
you got guys from all over the world catching these big fish, buying gas, buying food,
Yep.
lodging.
Yep.
It's just my thought on it, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think it would be a good thing for Bingham and Maine.
I've fished all over this country. And some places that I fish only have a quarter of the river that we have. And they make 100 times more off that river. One little, just in Ennis,
Yep.
There's a fly shop. I think there's like 6 in a little teeny town as big as Bingham.
And they all flourish.
And they all flourish.
Yeah.
And all them people are living there and staying there. And the people are coming year round. They're going by snowmobile to fish the river. I mean, it's really incredible that we have that industry. And I call it a diamond in the rough. Just nobody has, it's a piece of coal right now, but it could be a diamond.
Well, it's like the Atlantic salmon fishery, in my opinion. Once the federal government got a hold of it, there's no reason that a man can't go to the river and fish when the water temperature's down and release salmon.
Right?
What's the harm? All release, catch
Right.
and release.
Yeah.
I went to a banquet. I went to a morning thing at the fly fishing club and on the Penobscot. And it was just sad, really. It was the first year you couldn't fish for salmon. And I was tying, demonstrating, and I had to meet Arthur Taylor to get a couple of his prints signed and whatever. And these guys had their boats there and a nice, beautiful canoes, but they couldn't put them in and fish. They could put them in, but they couldn't fish for salmon. And they waited all their lives.
Yeah.
They retired to do this, and they just snatched it out from under them.
Too bad, huh?
Somebody's making money off it, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just pitiful, in my opinion.
Too bad.
Yep.
Son of a gun.
Yep.
We just traveled to the Marguerite,
Oh.
and it's a beautiful river, and people have hotels, camps, food, lodging, all there. And the salmon didn't come in, but there were still people fishing there.
I had a ball.
Yeah, us too.
I had
It was
a ball.
great.
I mean,
Great.
I think we all enjoyed ourselves to the max, and yeah, it's not about the catching if you really enjoy fly fishing.
Right.
It's far from it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good stuff.
Yeah, very.
We'll do it again.
We will. Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for coming.
Well, thank you.
I appreciate
for
it greatly.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Thanks for teaching all these people about flies and,
Well, I love to talk about it. It's my
Yep.
passion.
well, excellent.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to having you come again.
Well, we'll do it.
Great.
Pine Grove Programs, Digital Spirit Media, and J.W. Parks Golf Course. Maine knows how.